Ever wanted to know more about virus films?
Tell me now, or I'll put 100 bullets into you.
Easy there, partner. Like all good stories, we're gonna have to go right back to the start.
Right away.
We're standing in front of Daniel Cheer's house. Now it was here, over 1 decade ago, that a Melbourne teenager began mucking around with his family's camcorder. In late '97, Daniel began making video clips with a few buddies of a weekend. Soon, he began to reenact his favourite scenes from the movies like Deep Blue Sea and The 13th Floor.
When you started off wanting to make films, what did your dad have to say?
No, nothing much. No.
Did he even watch your films?
No, he didn't. Dad just said to stop the film career. That's it, alright? That's the long and short. You saw the films I was getting into, and it wasn't going to be, artistically credible.
Daniel's father finally relented when Daniel enrolled in the now infamous Film and Television Studies program. Beware the Stranger was the result.
All that stuff there were a lot of fun and stuff like that, and they're a bit of rubbish, and it wasn't rubbish per se, but it was fun.
Well, in the scheme of things, it wasn't really an important film. Beware the Stranger. We filmed that over 1 weekend. It was, a long shoot. We made it up as we went along, but we got there in the end. Do you want to comment on Beware the Stranger?
Pass, roll along, haven't seen it in years.
Been waiting weeks for this.
Who is it?
Now, from what I understand, Daniel actually wrote most of Beware the Stranger whilst relieving himself. I remember there being a lot of running involved, as I had calluses on the end of my feet by the end of it. What I don't remember, however, is there being much of a script, which resulted in a lot of exposition and to compensate for it.
Steve!
Soon after, Fluoro Productions was formed. The name was a nod to Daniel's recent discovery of the Chemical Brothers. Its first project was for an assignment in school English class. Deciding to make a short sequel to William Golding's Lord of the Flies, Trent Davidson returned to the fold with a spirited performance. For shooting locations, Daniel decided to film at classmate Ben Barnfield's house. The Bistro Bungalow was later utilised as Virus's chief editing and post-production studio.
It was quite a leap ahead of Beware the Stranger. It was pretty atmospheric and had a lot of mood to it.
Hello? Is anyone there?
From what I can remember, the movies made under the Fluoro name were hard to come by even at the time. They didn't get much of a release from what I can remember. But I think people will be surprised with the level of quality of The Beast Within. Something they're not expecting.
There you are!
How have you been?
Was there any rehearsing involved? Not at all. Not that I remember anyway. I think Daniel had a very good grasp and
You don't remember?
perception of how he wanted things to go, so probably wasn't very necessary.
I'm not the Beast! I'm not the Beast! I'm not the Beast! I'm not the Beast!
Never escape me, Jack.
I hadn't read the book at that point in time, but I'd seen the 63 and the 90 versions of the film, and I just thought, geez, I hope this is going to be a sequel to the 90 version. He said it wasn't, so I said, I'm in.
I was the Beast, I was the Chief. No.
It is at this point that younger student Jonathan Bampton enters the story.
Any comments on the rivalry with John Bampton?
No, it's not rivalry. It's more like a
Act of love.
no. I wouldn't put love in it at all. Probably,
Mutual respect.
no artistic dialogue.
I think Bampton's first film was Lord of the Flies 2, but don't quote me on that.
Lord of the Flies 2 was filmed over school holidays in April 1998 after the German exchange students, including Johannes, had returned home.
Brent and I fleshed out the script together during class, and we both contributed dialogue in isolation. Then we passed the script on to each other for revision. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I think I heard Brent did most of the organisation, so it really became a Brent Brothers production. Bampton, as far as I know, just directed the performances.
Jonathan really didn't know the difference between his arse and a hole in the ground, quite frankly. And, he expected to get mass applause and mass praise from making it. And, he completely missed the mark, I think, in a really big way.
I just wish we'd executed it better.
And as much as it hurts to tell, someone who's your friend and you want to encourage them and make them feel good about themselves that they've tried to achieve something, that it's really just rubbish.
Amongst its biggest flaw was perhaps the doubling up of actors. In some scenes, Bampton played the ghost, in others, Brent did. This would develop into a serious flaw in Bampton's work for several productions.
The better film version of Lord of the Flies. Look, if I had to pick one, probably The Beast Within because of Trent's performance, but that is the only thing that separates it.
Do you think that he was responsible for the pitfalls, or Mr. Brent, the co-director?
Well, look, like with all things in life that involve partnerships, it's I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair to put blame squarely on one person's shoulders. If there is to be any blame, I don't know if there's blame. It's all a learning experience as far as I can see it. Look, the responsibility is on both their shoulders, and that's enough to say on that, I think.
After the release of The Beast Within, Bampton spiraled into a brief but traumatic depression. Doubting he was ready to compete with the master, Bampton abandoned indefinitely pre-production on the Brent brothers' next project, They Only Come Out at Night, ending his association with the company.
The next film to be released was Daniel's Johnny and Barbara, which really impressed Bampton with its effects. It had zombies and pieces of meat from the butcher coming out of stomachs and things like that.
I knew I needed to get something out there very quickly, however workmanlike. I had to suck it in because I knew I couldn't afford for my face to be away from the public for too long.
Dino and I, we were searching the place. It was clean. We were coming back when I realised I left my VB holder at the place.
Hey, Pa, one pizza for table 5 and one pie for table 9.
Ah, certainly, son.
Have you got the stuff there? Yes. Let me have a look.
Poorly acted, of course, but that was the charm of the film, and it's an interesting ploy, I suppose. What else do you do when you're short on cast members or people who really aren't interested?
Put that thing away, you idiot!
Actors once again doubled up in this mildly comedic tale of feuding Greek and Italian mafias.
Now, the woke father was a pile of shit, but it was a good pile of shit.
A great performance by Tom Goddard as the fat bitch earned the movie's only acknowledgement at that year's Chalk Awards. Enter now retired actor Ben Barnfield, last seen in The Beast Within. Fresh from a stint at night school, he'd put together his first film, Mr. Red, shot around a suburban railway station. Trent Davidson, now something of a veteran, played a shadowy hood in his fourth featured role.
I don't remember much at all of the filming of Mr. Red. It was the first thing I did without being under Daniel's direction, so it's a little bit murky. It was nice to do an indie type thing. I think after, the big, expansive concept of Johnny and Barbara 2, which was even bigger of an idea than the original one, going down a kind of Jerry Bruckheimer type of path, or Daniel, that's what he likes, but it wasn't really what I was after, so.
The film very nearly didn't happen. Davidson himself had to be dragged out of bed at the last moment on a hot summer's day.
What did Chia think of Mr. Red? I think he probably enjoyed it. I have no idea. I've never discussed it with him really. I mean, it was a one-off. He was busy at work or something that day, busy with something else, and it just happened. One day, a bunch of people together, a script was there, smack bang, let's just do it. It wasn't sort of like we were having an affair on a lover or anything like that. It was just, I don't think there was any sort of tension or jealousy or severing of anything.
So he didn't sue?
He didn't sue.
Next out the stable doors was Yakuza's story. Bampton was approached by Hamlet, apparently unable to secure a camera a day or so before shooting was scheduled to begin. Ironically, the camera had been booked for the Mr. Red shoot that weekend.
Launched my career with Yakuza. That was my springboard.
You know, you won a chalk award.
I won a chalk award. It's a prestigious award.
So, lo and behold, John had a film company, Arrow Productions, and his debut release was Yakuza Story. We were all just thinking, whoa, the fuck is he kidding, really?
Is that somehow based in your childhood?
I'm sure there are elements of, I guess, nostalgia in terms of perhaps the kinds of books or types of films I may have watched at the time. I was quite an avid viewer of Des Mangan's Cult Nights on Saturday evenings on SBS, and it would have a stronger relation to that than being said that's an autobiographical piece, I think.
We all had Japanese interests, didn't we? Yeah. So like the Yakuza Story like flowed on and into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It sort of like spurred on a bit of it was a bit like a rash and needed some cream.
Neil!
Yeah. The Yakuza film I look back on, and I look back on it, and you look back on someone with, your career's moved on, your skills have improved, you look back, tens of embarrassment.
My problem is I might have ideas, but I won't know necessarily how to go about making them a reality, whereas John's really good at just running with anything.
Originally to star an all-Asian cast, this marketing ploy was abandoned after production scouts failed to deliver union personnel.
Damn it, bastards!
Tim Long was back again after Lord of the Flies 2. The movie would be the first film to feature a female lead.
Mainly, sorry, I stuffed that over.
Elise Kelly, who came at a cheap price.
We need to take better care of our animals.
What does that mean?
What are you doing?
Pay the money back, so you'll pay for it.
Almost straight after the premiere, there was a dispute between Arrow Productions and Hamlet. This disagreement between screenwriter and director has long since become legendary.
I just can't remember what the fuss was about at all. There was no disagreement.
You'd certainly have to put him on a tighter leash.
It was all Bampton. It was all Bampton. Redman was an artist in there. He had his flavour.
We got this invitation to go to this screening of a new Hong Kong cinema film called Yakuza Story. This audience reaction was pretty pitiful. There were laughs coming from various sections of the audience. Midway through the screening, I think Hamlet stormed out of the room. Bampton didn't really know how to take it. I think maybe chased him out of the theatre.
Do you think you'll ever collaborate with Jonathan again?
Probably. I would suggest yes. Make sure that our responsibilities and obligations to each other are well defined. And if that's done, I think we could have a really good working relationship again, I think. Definitely.
Whatever happened, Redders was back for Larry, so probably just a little bit of ego bruising or something like that.
At the end of the day, the man that put me in place and told me what to do was Big Boy Bampton.
So you helped edit Yakuza Story?
No, I did not help edit it. He edited it at my house. That was all I did. No, I sat there, laughed my ass off, and hoped some of my criticism would rub off on it. No.
We didn't pick it up at first, but then we went to happened to go to an audience screening, and it was a completely different film. There was a different atmosphere in the crowd. They lapped it up. Once the film finished, they demanded another screening straight away, and I guess basically it was the start of what became known as Yakuza Fever.
Oh, right. HD DVD. Wow.
Fluoro Productions was winding up and Chia was becoming a bit of a recluse, so the only way forward was to come up with our own production company. We finally got Virus up and running around, I think it was August of 1998, and we had a new film coming out called Cross, which was going to pre-production. We basically approached John Banton to play a part in the film. We didn't need his directing service, well, we didn't want his directing services. We wanted to use his name, which is kind of funny because he hadn't acted in anything since I think The Wogfather, and you know, I think he'd sort of given up on the whole acting gig.
My name's Alice, and I will take a dare.
It was a good, yeah, we saw it as a good promotional tool more than anything.
So why wasn't Training Cross?
I can't remember. He must have been busy that day, that's all I can think of. Speaking of that day, I think we formed Virus Films that morning just so we could make the movie. No, it all happened very, very quickly.
Cross didn't even receive one nomination whatsoever. Ben did receive a Best Director one, which I think is a testament to his skills and abilities, but yeah, total injustice. Pathetic when you look at what actually won that year. Just terrifying. Cross was well regarded, but inexplicably drew no attention at the next Chalk Awards.
Alright boys, welcome to the last class of Film and Television 1998. We've got today the announcement of the annual Chalk Awards. Alrighty. There's 3 contenders this year. We've got the second runner-up place. We've got This Sporting Strife, Peter Hansen and Peter Dixon. Second runner-up, we've got James Bend, 009. I bet that title kept you up all night, boys. Very good. And the winner this year, with 5 votes, we've got Yakuza Story, Will There Ever Be a Rainbow? That's Redmond Hamlet. And come on here, Redmond, and accept your prize, the 1998 Chalk Awards.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Alright. And there you go.
Oh, I'll just pick that up, sir.
I think you should.
The next film to be released was The Motherlode, Dirty Larry. The film was devised explicitly as a vehicle for Blake Mitzi, now unexpectedly the most sought-after actor on the circuit.
I sort of thought we could do a throwback to some of our favourite films and some of our roots as well. One of our favourite films is Dirty Harry, so I naturally came up with the idea to use Blake.
With a filming schedule of unprecedented length and a cast of mainly students, a stern-line producer was needed, and Keong rose to the occasion.
Now, the problem was, because we came late to the party, Blake had already signed a 4-picture deal with Jonathan Banton, who was obviously running Arrow Productions. So, you know, we were in a bit of a tangle because we would either have to pay out the contract or the solution we came up with was to get Jonathan Banton on board with Virus Productions, and hence how we got the two at our company.
In Lord of the Flies 2, we'd seen the intensity of Redmond's performance, the anger, just the seething, resenting presence of his being. And I thought, we can't miss this opportunity to use such a powerhouse actor again.
Larry was actually the first of the Virus productions to be edited entirely on computer, which was at the time quite revolutionary because no one that was in our circle of filmmakers had done that before. So the technology hadn't been available until then, to us anyway. In spite of all this great new technology, Banton was just not happy with any of the cuts because perhaps that advance in technology just brought too many possibilities.
You know, John, he was really hung up about some stuff. He kept comparing himself to Cheetah all the time. He would say, "Well, Daniel had picked up this master shot. Should we do a reverse bathtub scene or all that sort of stuff?" But you know, I'd scarcely even remember seeing a Fluoro production But I remember he was just so adamant. He always wanted to be really professional, and he always said, you know, we have to equal him before we can beat him. I remember that. That's what he said.
The office scenes were just too static and pretty poorly executed too, and I just couldn't see why other people didn't see this. The narrative flow of Dirty Larry was just all over the place, and I thought we need to excise some stuff here.
It's all in the belt buckle.
What?
Did you write some crap from the back?
Oh well.
Will he actually stop by lightning, or did he think he was going to stop by lightning?
What did you say?
Yeah, wiped all their asses in jail 3 years ago. They had a crap all the time.
Why does everyone call you Dirty Larry?
Because I hated everyone at school, especially the Cambodians.
This is the drug dealing sector. This is on the set of Dirty Larry.
What you gonna do, pig? You got nothing on me!
It's called Golden Eye Shots. Not Golden Eye Shots. Why are we walking?
Where the hell are we going?
We're gonna go do some filming. You know, Larry, I still can't believe the police station was merged with the hospital because of budget cuts.
Watch out! Hey man, wanna buy a bong?
He picked it up. Some guy was using it. I told him to get off.
New public phone on Burke Street, opposite Target. Understand?
Cut! That's good, that's all. Cool.
There were 3 studios, all fishing from the same talent pool and only a very limited amount of funding. Something had to happen.
I film everything, I'm not with them.
It was quite unfair on the audiences because they were going to the movies, they were seeing the same actors over and over and over again, which is like going to 50 different houses or seeing the same damn wallpaper.
Ticket please.
Here's my ticket.
Where's your concession card?
That's pretty good.
We had to do a lot of filming after school. We didn't have a lot of time because of the commitments, but Danton really kept pushing us along.
I'm hoping the madness on the truth he did get them from the reject shop. Not that he bloody borrowed them from his sister or something.
Well, they do smell like they got a lot of perfume on it.
Well, filming was pretty torturous with Danton. I mean, it was a bit of a hard taskmaster. As far as I know, I haven't worked with any other directors. That was the end of my career. But, you know, I guess he gave us a bit of creative license to go out, take over the camera work and film our own scenes. So, yeah, you know, all in all, a good experience. From over here, because Tim, you don't know what to film so far, so stand there. Right. Yeah. Way back here. Now, Larry, you have to come up here and you go, Professor Jock goes, what about it? You say, what about it? And you go, Rika goes, we're in the same division. I failed my firearm test the same day you failed bombs disposal. You mean? Oh, sorry, I thought that was... Okay, sorry, stop.
Keep going.
Tell us how long. Just go.
Didn't you just say just go?
Yeah, I do just say that, so shut up.
Same bit.
No.
No, nothing. You just be quiet.
Shut up! Larry, he said no weapons. What the hell?
Virus, uncertain of the product presented to it by Arrow Productions, was nervous enough to issue the first few prints under the pseudonym Impact. Virus had gambled most of its faith in a small work commissioned by Davidson entitled Factors of Friday.
Leaving so soon, boys?
Oh, yeah.
Take some party with you.
I'm a bit tired, actually.
2 of these will get you buzzing.
If it wasn't a success, we'd have to close down and I'd have to go back to fluoro with my tail between my legs.
Now, Factors of Friday just really should not have been made at that point of time. Far too many cooks in the kitchen, and there was just too much going on outside of that for it to have had any chance of success whatsoever.
We were really in a bind since Cross hadn't performed very well.
Well, it just goes to prove that old adage that, you know, if you've got a limited budget, you really ought to film the ending first and then go back and start it off, because, you know, the end is the most important element of any film.
I think they'd set up a film that was market sort of tested to pull in the youngsters.
Yeah, so we're looking for basically CDs, stereos, money, drugs.
Probably a bad decision.
Remember, if anybody asks you, David invited us.
Who's David?
I don't know, mate. There's always someone named David at these sort of parties.
Who are you here with?
Chill, man. David invited us.
Okay.
Fuck's David?
Taxes of Friday had absolutely tanked, but it didn't matter because we were back in the black. How did this happen, you ask? Well, it wasn't the royalties from the Mumbai Film Festival, and it wasn't the residuals from the DVD sales of Cross in South Africa. No, it was two words. Two words I'll never forget. Dirty Larry.
Dirty Larry was a hit, which was good for us because obviously it was designed to be the next big thing. The only problem was the profit we made on that really only made up for the losses that we incurred on Factors of Friday, which had performed well below expectations.
And now we come to Magnum.
Hey man, wanna buy a bomb?
Well, I hate sequels, as you know. I was really against, if I had a choice, I wouldn't. There's no way in hell I'd do one. But unfortunately, or fortunately, because Dirty Larry was such a big success, I was outvoted.
Filmed over a massive 9 months with some actual 15 shooting days, this was the biggest project undertaken so far.
The cast were getting pretty angry during Magnum.
You're here. Just show me the basics. You bastard.
They were all pretty busy with VCE, so I think that's why I got away with a lot of bad behaviour.
You don't sit on my table.
Sorry?
You don't sit on my table.
I'll stop sitting on
all these people.
Please don't film me. I look bad on camera. Why are you wasting
Art cinema! Hey, listen, we're gonna get a match. Action.
Well, they sort of curl up like Leon.
I had to film everything, really. I tried to set up some film units to do some inserts and some of the ancillary action scenes.
Action.
Nobody will put up their hands.
Hold it right there, Callahan. No tricks.
Look, this may be bigger than even we think it is.
I think that in Magnum Horse, I think we can prove his worth in weak kind of roles. I mean, he is a very strong personality.
These two just came in this morning. Damon, hijacking a prostitution.
He definitely proved himself. He's a strong personality. He wants to make his opinion known.
Sorry. 2 seconds, first try.
Wait 2 seconds after he says action.
No, the corpse does not laugh, the corpse is dead. Alright, this time louder. Louder, and
It's really hard to understand his accent. Once I got around that though, he had so much personality and charisma. He really did. I remember the scene where he had the white coat. I think it was the second Larry. And we're inside one of the Trinity buildings, and we're inside like the preschool area or something like that. And we were doing the forensic analysis, and he really shone. I think that was where he really came out and really took it a step forward. His coat said "I am gay" on the back. He's now studying medicine. Well, there you go. I think that's only inspired from his forensic career on Dirty Larry.
Let's do this for. Just do it again, hang on.
Don't put your face into the thing so much.
Yeah, Blake was great. I mean, he was a real calming force on the set. A real teddy bear, you know, but with an iron will and an iron fist.
And yeah, what's that supposed to mean?
Hey Chief, any news about... That was the best.
You know, his character is as it presents on screen, and I had to do very little manipulation. He's just got that star, that X factor that Danny Minogue's looking for. That just, you know, I I didn't have to mould them at all. No, where'd you hear that? That's. I think that's all just based on envy. You know, that they hadn't found anyone. Well, with the exception of Trent, of course, the great sort of harking back to the character actors of the 40s, or your Henry Fondas and those sort of people. Fluoro just couldn't unearth the goods. You know, they were throwing up. You know, they were recycling B-grade names like Lee Zemsky and Lincoln Brown that just had no traction in market whatsoever. So I think it's just sour grapes that they never found anything approaching Blake Mitsu's star power.
Chief, I know who could demon and Joe roll.
Okay.
Guts. How much do I owe you?
That'll be $102.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Would you like another bag?
Yes, please.
Meanwhile, Falling was announced as the first Arrow Fluoro co-production. This collaboration had been Bampton's dream. The pair decided to develop a novel about generational bigotry into a small film. Edited privately, this was Davidson's first role in nearly a year.
Yeah, it does. So what's happening? You're teaching them a thing or two about what you think, what's right, that Arabs should be out of here because they just keep stealing people's money. I'll fill you up with the story. His grandfather has died, and he perceives him as like the normal Joe Blow kind of grandfather. But when he goes back,
why did grandfather chop wood for Sir?
action stuff. Just have lots of dirty shit happening, so look cool. Just have the texture of the wheels and stuff.
Chair and Bampton enjoyed the experience so much that they began throwing around ideas for a project called Quentin.
Quentin? That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. We had very high hopes for that, but I don't think to this day I've even seen the rush cuts.
Be the one that broke all the boundaries and get rid of the action teenage stereotypes.
I don't know, we could have a masterpiece, in a cabinet somewhere.
Targeted at film nerds and snobs, really. Not, and that's all. No one else would want to watch that sort of movie. Fortunately, this is just my opinion, it hasn't seen the light of day. It's buried somewhere in the fluoro vaults.
By the summer of '99, Daniel Cheer, our former Coppola-esque mentor, had sort of disappeared from the whole filmmaking fraternity. I think he'd sort of given up on his initial passion, and it was a bit like George Lucas, a bit more obsessed with the behind-the-scenes things rather than the actual production of new material. I remember one board meeting we had, and there was a really big fracas about what we were going to release our films in. And at that stage, we still needed a lot of... we were still, taking risks on the films we were releasing, and what format we were going to put everything on. And I think most of the board members, including me, agreed that DVD was the future. And he had other ideas. He insisted that he would release his complete film collection onto Laserdisc.
So Tim, you just want to walk past? Okay.
Yes, now. Can I walk with him? Because I want to...
It's not necessarily true, Bampton, because you get shots at the window.
Wait, I'll give him a pamphlet. No,
it's not yours. It's sort of window there, don't you? Yeah. So
I just want you to walk across. That's it. No, you're in. He's not there. I want to be a part of it. You're in later. You're in the movie anyway. Alright.
Bampton, this might not work because...
Shut up! Shut up, Redmond! You're not even supposed to be here.
No, Redmond, I respect you. You're a filmmaker. What do you want me to do? What do you think?
No, just let him watch.
No, seriously, you help me. You help me with Yakuza. What do you think?
Alright. We've taken shots of that already.
Yeah, might as well.
Camera on film this. Alright?
That's all got it on.
I'm gonna have to.
This is so much better.
I've got it on.
Petty conflict with Redmond.
Yeah, so you two together.
Yeah, you walk right to Titans.
Yeah, just walk right.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, so okay.
In August 2000, Fear was released.
This moderately budgeted film was Davidson's debut as director.
I'm very suspicious of them. I think they are cannibals. When they go home for lunch, I think they go and eat people.
Raymond, we've got a bit of a job to do. Well, actually, it's more of a game, really. I think you'll find it very exciting.
Yeah, I guess it was good. You know, the script had a lot of potential, but it really fizzled out towards the end. What do you mean, more people for dinner next week?
Now, Fear was based upon a short story my brother had actually written, and I discovered I needed some material for for something to release at that point in time. And I actually took that short story and absolutely massacred it into what you see, bearing absolutely no relevance whatsoever to the original story. Was filmed quite quickly. I think for what it is, it's not too bad. I'm quite happy with it.
Hey Mikey, you guys are always talking about what a good time you have on the weekend. You know, I get pretty bored, so I was thinking, you know, maybe...
And you were thinking maybe you could come out with us?
Well, yeah.
I'll have to ask the other guys first. You know what they're like.
Another thing I was wondering about, how come you guys always go home for lunch?
Well, it's just the way the guys have done it for as long as I can remember.
Bit of a non-event, really.
Next came the third lime.
The third lime, you know, it's just fun to sit down and relax sometimes and just make sort of a schlock horror thriller piece that doesn't really tax anyone's imagination.
Like, I'll need it from when they, like, from the behind shot, but I'll need another light in here.
Sensitive to criticisms of his role as the chief in Larry, Bampton was adamant his future lay only behind the camera.
Should we go for it?
Shut up!
Ben managed to convince him to return one last time.
I'll do the whole thing again, go.
Yeah, he really needed a cheer up. Magnum was just totally getting on top of him. He was just completely wrapped up in it, so he needed a break. So I gave him a part in the third lime, you know, just a couple of days, something to take his mind off it.
Or use it anyway.
You have to...
I think filming's over.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can or something, right?
No, that was good. Maybe we should have it back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rip it more, though.
What's that? A single moment?
Let's see.
That look pretty cool.
Does it look like freaky?
That looks pretty cool.
Start cleaning the crapper.
The third line was filmed almost back-to-back with Fear. Like its counterpart, it too was chopped down mercilessly for entry into studio competition.
Do
your stuff.
My stuff. Right, Fergus, we want you to walk. Now, remember, left and right, then left and right. Not left, right, right, or anything like that, because you'll fall over.
What do you want me to do with the gun?
Well, there's a little crevice there. We'd like you to leave the gun in said crevice and continue walking. Remember, left, right, follow that.
Some of the cast had very short attention spans, and they just peter out after a couple of hours, and you know, they needed a red cordial. And sometimes I found that if I just film some funny scenes, extraneous material, just some bread and circuses, it would help things along. It led to a lot of funny home sort of video footage, but we did waste a lot of film.
Scott's flamboyant actions.
Yes, that's me.
What was it like to work with Blake Mitzi?
Well, Blake Mitzi is an interesting character. It's really hard to fit a schedule into him when he's like, I think he's ranked in the top 10 karate under 18-year-olds, so he's got quite a busy schedule. Cut. You got to 5, haven't you?
4:30, yeah, till 5.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, we may as well have done this scene, but we have to do the shots that we fucked up at the time. Action.
Are you ready yet, Rico?
Going there.
Come on, Rico. The car's parked 4 blocks down.
With me, Larry.
Hello. Well, I've actually got a third movie in the pipeworks, the actual grand finale of the trilogy, which tentatively we're entitling The Enforcer. I'm not gonna. I've written the story. I'm asking Tim Keong and Trent Davidson to, I don't know, bang into audition a good screenplay.
Shut up. Just over my shoulder. You know how they came in the door again?
Yeah.
I go, gentlemen. Alright.
At about this time, success seemed to be going to the head of Blake Mitzi, who indulged in a vanity project called Captain Proton.
We were quite worried about Blake's future with the company. We thought he might have been getting a case of cold feet because he suddenly employed this hotshot Gold Coast lawyer that he'd become acquainted with, and we thought, what's going on here?
The script's mostly all done. It was actually it was quite enjoyable to make. It's just sort of this strange, twisted sci-fi set in the 1950s. When technology is about brass bolts or like heavy boots. Skin-tight suits for the girls.
Fortunately, our fears were completely unfounded because he signed up for a further 6-picture deal for a 4-digit sum, which at the time was completely unheard of.
Yeah, there seems to be a little strange odour in the air.
Okay, drive off.
Just gonna have music on it, like. I'm gonna mark it.
Are you having? Is that water?
There were a lot of unanswered phone calls in jacuzzis and things like that going on. It all just, I think, went to everybody's head and it just went way too far.
Can you put your hands on it still in the sitting? Actually, you don't put a Rico.
The laying on hands.
You know how you walk over and you walk like this in the sheet and you go like that? Yeah.
Where's my gun?
Sorry, Larry.
John Watto's uncle.
That fucking rocks.
Yeah.
I want more sexual intercourse. I want it all the time. Sex to me ain't no crime, as long as it's legal and no one gets hurt. I don't like rape, but bondage is worse. Can't stop thinking about sex. It's what my brain only knows best.
That's been filmed as well.
Like, you should be able to get his face in the back, just on my shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, free.
What have I done? What have I done?
Dog's a vegetable!
You wouldn't know it from watching it, but Magnum was pretty much a Bampton solo project.
We found Shaggy Old's hideout. We found the girl. We saved her. Just in
So, he had a little bit of help in the pre-production stages with the script, etc. But as far as day-to-day production went and the post-production, it was pretty much a one-man show.
I don't know, how do you end this scene?
Oh, yeah, Dennis sort of going, alright, take him to town or whatever, boys, and just like have him walk out there instead of like being beaten up in the background.
I know that they gave John Banton a blank check to pretty much do what he wanted.
Are you sure you want to do this, Chief?
Yeah. I want to push him down the chair though.
Yeah. When he finally says, he realises he's not going to tell him tell these two to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, and just have him walking off and crap out of him.
Follow it like this way. And the door closed behind us.
You just tell me you understand. Okay.
When door comes out, pick him up, bend him over the table. Come on, bitch! Play music from Pulp Fiction. Spread it! Gary, alright, we'll just get you pushed back in this one.
Yeah, that's a good ending of this.
Yeah, we push him over. I'll do more shots than this.
Yeah, I'll probably see them like.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
And like, do you understand each other? And I'll say yes after. It's corny enough.
No, wait, I didn't record that.
Like it cuts to the car pulling up and it's silent. Like all the original music's gone.
It just appeared out of nowhere.
We'll give our lungs a dosage.
Not yet. Don't you pass up. Not yet. Not yet.
In the news, right? In the news.
I'm busy right now.
Well, we'll send someone over soon.
Chief gets shot through the head. Yeah, that's right. Missing goal. Larry gets shot in the arse. Yeah, well. Rick getting shot in the foot. You're a funny man, Larry.
What? What's that? Oh, he's recording now.
Exactly behind the scenes of Larry.
No, Banton, you should be smoking while you're filming, so smoke goes in front of you.
Yeah, like John
Carpenter.
I've lost the nut that goes on the end of the pin of that scooter, but it's now found thanks to the lovely director.
This is Scott Peacock.
Yeah, it should be more back, but we just killed this person.
I'm not Scott Peacock.
Well, I found it really hard to keep up any sort of energy. You know, it went on for so long that, you know, by the 15th, 16th month of production, I just thought about throwing it all in. I couldn't get inspired, and just 15 months of doing it all by myself meant that I was just exhausted.
It looked like we'd bitten off more than we could chew. This was, without a doubt, the most ambitious project we'd ever attempted. It completely dwarfed Dirty Larry, and let alone Johnny and Barbara.
I wasn't really involved with Virus for a few months during the initial pre-production and production of Magnum Horse, but John and I reconciled our differences, and he showed me some of the footage he'd already shot for the Dirty Larry sequel. And I was actually kind of surprised. He'd really improved his filmmaking abilities, and I thought this thing didn't look too bad. So, you know, he asked if I could help with some second unit directing, and I gladly obliged.
There isn't one man we've killed who didn't deserve what was coming to them.
Him!
I would say them!
Hi, I'm dead.
Hey boss, got the dirty fucking pimp. Yeah, I'll see you.
Do you know your lines?
But what
Prompt.
Prompt?
What about Wendell?
Okay, I'll strangle you.
Is that all? Doesn't he say something more?
Best to split the two lines. I never was too good at concentrating on anything.
Post-production costs escalated under Maverick editor Chris Rafter. Bampton appealed to Virus for funds who eventually agreed.
Bampton cut his ear and something like that, like a sort of that stuff, and then
Virus acquired all of Arrow's back catalogue.
We nearly had to call some favours in to get the footage back from the infamous Chris Rafter. We had some MUA strikers on hand that would have got the ball rolling like that. But fortunately, Rafter provided the final cut.
It was quite good, I mean, because it was quite personal. He was very into it. That was quite inspiring for everyone at Virus, but the thing was just the post-production took so long. It took forever. Escape from Valhalla came about from another script I had written, which was a slasher thriller, teenage aimed thing.
The partners of Virus went on a big location scout.
Don't film me doing this! Motherfucking don't! Over time, it sort of mutated into this slightly apocalyptic, futuristic version of Lord of the Flies, with a touch of kind of a Logan's Run, Mad Max kind of thing happening in there.
They went down the day I was filming a few inserts at Docklands, or, I couldn't contact them at all that day. I'd had a little union trouble at the time, and they said they'd be remotely contactable. For all I knew, they could be, on the yacht drinking daiquiris, buying young boys. I don't know.
Not just us.
I'd been working on that for a long time. I had tried to outsource it to other people just from some opinions, and every time I did that, all I got was praise. So I just constantly got told to stick with it myself and no one else should touch it, which was very flattering. It was pretty tough. It was a very tough period. A few other things I had planned couldn't be filmed. Semi-autobiographical, while also based upon the lead actor in it and his lifestyle choice at the time. The original cut of it went for about 12 minutes, and I had to butcher it down to, I think it's 5 minutes 49. I should actually not ever forget that number.
My dream was to make enough money from making films so that I could lay around all day and watch TV and sleep.
I would have upheld the law.
No, I would have upheld the law.
I would have upheld the law.
Action.
I would have upheld the law. Oh. Now we went to the Oro.
I was really hoping that we'd get to Cannes in 2002. Got any new DVDs recently?
Yes, why?
I don't know.
Sorry, you grill them, we grill them.
Should you ask for permission first before you start filming?
Only before I broadcast.
No, when am I getting paid?
Well,
it's not getting paid.
It's funny you should mention that.
It's on bloody YouTube.
It is, and
how many years has it been?
I mean, when we get our residuals, when the Warner Brothers takeover of YouTube happens, when Warners give us the money, we'll be able to distribute the funds evenly amongst regular.
Bampton, when am I getting paid?
Well, yeah, he's the lawman.
It's not really that funny. Boyfriend Schlong here is after the money from me.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll see it. I mean, hell, I mean, guys, understand. I haven't been paid either. I'm still waiting for my money too. So I mean, I feel your pain. I understand your pain. Yes. Yeah.
At the moment, everything's kind of ground to a halt, which is a big shame. And I hope, one day we get the resources and financing to maybe make something new, like a 1-hour documentary on the whole history of Virus films.
Alright, McConaughey, shirt off. Scarlett Johansson, pouting.
Nice.
We need some Paul Simon beats. He's the rhythmist, isn't he? We need some stirring dialogue, some bullshit, poncy poetry. Versatile. Nice ambitions, but
Larry! Well, there's good news and there's bad news.
Yes, he's in a serious condition, but they reckon he'll make it.
Damn it to hell. The bastard should have died. Mind you, I thought he did.
Well, at least you killed Scorpio.
Well, you can't win them all.
question!
Go ahead, shoot.
May I go to the toilet?
Sure, I guess.
Well, I mean, it exists as such. It exists really just as a back catalogue at this moment, but it's much similar to. It's essentially like there's a videotape playing in a video recorder. Basically, that video that was playing has been paused, been taken out of the player, put in its case, and put on the shelf. It's sitting on the shelf. It's still at a point where there's plenty more to be seen and told of that story on that videotape. I think just waiting for the right point in time where it can be viewed again, or not viewed again, continue to be viewed, and the rest of the story will be told.
Daniel, if you're watching this, please, I just want to see the footage once. I need to see the footage. I need to see what we created. I missed nights of sleep thinking about it, and it's not just me, everyone.
Did you ever have any contact with any members of the Yakuza prior to writing the screenplay?
Had I ever had any exposure? No, certainly not. Although sometimes I wish I did.
Oh wow, quad bikes.
Am I gonna be on? You are. I'm gonna be on YouTube. Yeah, if you want. Wait a minute. How do I know I'm getting quality? This is quality stuff. Got it off Twinson. Gave some to Mr. Barrett the other day. He's loving it. Oh, if it's good enough for Mr. Barrett, it's good enough for me.
How do you tell a friend that it was rubbish? And it was serious shit.
Well, that solves that, doesn't it?
Oh, that's cool.